It's eliminated the need for manual reporting. Data is visualized, automatically saving hours of time and improving accuracy. It's kind of like as quick as I can use ChatGPT sometimes, It takes all that manual stuff out of it. It's really nice.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the November Field Sales Series. I'm Michelle Irving, SVP of Customer Experience with Map My Customers. And we have Jenny Law with Cars Protection Plus here. Hi, Jenny.
I'm Jenny Law from Cars Protection Plus, and I'm the Sales Performance Manager.
Awesome. We're going to give everybody just a second to join. We're really excited to have you here with us today. So while we're waiting for everyone, Jenny, are you ready for Thanksgiving?
I am. I'm more ready for Christmas than Thanksgiving. I've already started decorating, so that's my sweet spots to Christmas. Is not as much as Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know about everyone. My dream is to go to Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and then do the Black Friday shopping the next day.
So, yeah, that would be awesome.
That's a bucket list of mine.
That would be awesome. A lot of fun. I've always wanted to go to the Thanksgiving Day Parade too. Well, I think we have a pretty good group that's joined us now. So thanks again for being here. Today, we are talking about aligning field sales with revenue strategy. And as I mentioned, we have Jenny Law here. So Jenny, I'm going to ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself, your role, and Cars Protection Plus before we dive in.
I've been with Cars for 13 years, and prior to those 13 years, I left for about 7 and then was there 7 years prior. So I left Cars and came back because I love it so much. I help with the sales performance and help dig around our sales territories to see what areas need help with, and do some analytical for the sales team.
Awesome. Great. Well, we do love working with you, Jenny. I know our entire team at Map My Customers loves working with you and the Cars Protection Plus team. So we appreciate you taking time out of your day to be here with us. So we'll go ahead and just jump right in. So as we start, we're talking today about how we align field sales with revenue strategy. So aligning that field team with what the overall strategy and goals are for revenue growth and retention. And so the first thing to just kind of level set is, how do you make sure that your field sales team understands and feels connected? So not just knows what they are and understands, but feels connected into the broader growth goals of Cars Protection Plus.
I would say that we communicate our goals clearly and consistently through both our sales managers and our leadership meetings. Every initiative, whether it's expanding dealer signups or increasing contact penetration, is tied back to our mission of honest, customer-focused growth. We reinforce that their daily field activity directly impacts company success and customer satisfaction.
That's great. So it sounds like you guys really have a solid communication path for your team to understand what the North Star is and how everything works together. It seems like sometimes that field reps can feel really disconnected from goals that are set by leadership. So what are some practical ways that you guys communicate those goals to your reps in the field?
We use a combination of things. I would say one of the number one things that we use is the Map My Customer dashboards. We have a lot of custom dashboards that I'd say Grant helped create, which was great. We also do weekly sales updates, zone calls weekly to align everybody. And each territory sales manager has their own visibility for their numbers as well as the companies as a whole, so they can see how they contribute to the bigger picture.
Awesome. And when you set growth goals, or leadership sets growth goals, how do you translate that into measurable activity or measurable territory goals?
We break company targets down by territory potentials, active dealer base, and the opportunity of mapping with Map My Customers. This allows us to set the realistic base KPIs, like the new dealer visits or dealer follow-ups that ladder the overall growth of everything.
And can you share an example of a time when your field sales execution directly influenced or exceeded the company level growth objectives and goals?
I would say in 2024, we restructured all of our territories and zones, and we were able to implement this by using Map My Customers. That visibility was able to identify the underperforming territories with heat maps. We were able to reassign coverage for those territories strategically. Within 1 quarter, we saw a measurable lift of dealer activation and contract volume. So definitely restructuring.
Wow. So in 1 quarter, you guys noticed a difference in improvement that fast. That's incredible. That's a really great example of how you can tie data and visibility directly into results and into the changes to really improve performance. So thinking,
I think the number one with that was more of with the being able to find new leads through Map My Customer. They were leads that we didn't have, that, we had a pre-populated list. So them having live leads through Map My Customer through Google was probably a game changer for us.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely sounds like it. It sounds like a really fast realization to improving the goals and performance of the team. So what advice would you give other leaders that are trying to connect their field team's daily work into those strategic goals that the company is driving?
I would say to make sure your team understands the why behind each initiative. When a rep sees how their actions move the needle, it drives their engagement and accountability. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. I think that understanding the why, we hear that a lot from other customers as well. And I know that's something that we share with customers when they're going through onboarding is really make sure to communicate the why. Why are we doing this? Why are we making a change? Why are we adding a software tool to our tech stack and really helping everyone understand that we're all moving in the same direction? So, you just mentioned the lead finder capabilities and the leads and what a big difference that was. Many teams struggle to balance prospecting of new business with growing the existing business. How do you approach that balance at Cars Protection Plus?
Well, we put a big emphasis on both, actually. Each rep has a goal for dealer acquisition and also dealer retention. So we break those down by service and sales calls. We measure their ability, not only to bring new partners, but to also strengthen these relationships with existing ones through our consistent support and service. So that's pretty much how.
So definitely that really emphasizing that the importance of both and then the team has to prioritize among both of those channels as they're working through their day. Absolutely. And what metrics or signals tell you when it's time to shift focus from expansion to net growth and vice versa?
We monitor dealer contract volume and engagement. If a region has a strong base of declining utilization, then we know it's time to focus and switch our expansion. Conversely, when coverage gaps appear, prospecting and making that the priority. So looking for the underperforming areas through probably through the heat map mostly.
Got it. And a lot of that takes certainly motivation. We know that our sales teams, our field teams definitely are motivated by incentives and various things. So how do you motivate your team to pursue both types of revenue opportunities?
Recognition and transparency. So that goes a huge way, being transparent and making sure you recognize those overperformers. Map My Customers allows us to track the progress in real time with the verified check-ins and things like that. We've ran a few contests on verified check-ins, and that nothing but like a contest to get everybody motivated. So then we can celebrate the wins all across the board whenever we run those.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to share about one of the contests that you've run?
Sure. We ran a verified check-in contest, and in order for them to be eligible for the contest for the month before, they've had to have we come up with a certain amount. I think it was maybe like 50 verified check-ins. And then if they had the 50, they were eligible for the next month contest. And we ran it by, it was just their call logs and their verified check-ins. Whoever had the most won cash prize money. And we actually had so many people that we, instead of just having 3 winners, we did 5. So we had more than we thought that would participate.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. I love a good contest, and I love the way you guys have been able to utilize Mount My Customers as you've been looking at, stack rank, rankings, contests, things like that. So that's fun. You guys have been really creative and effective with how you've motivated your team, especially just with what you described. You only thought you'd have a handful. You ended up having to increase the contest. So that's an awesome success rate there. So thinking back to just that balance between prospecting and growing existing revenue with existing customers, have you adjusted your comp or your KPIs to better align with that balance?
Yes, we've incorporated performance metrics that reward retention and growth within our existing accounts, not just the new signups.
And that retaining existing business is so important. And I know some of our customers, we talk about the fact that they have separate teams that are working on managing existing business versus teams that are out in the field getting new logo acquisition. Then we have other teams that have a combined approach. So they are out in the team working with both existing customers and acquiring new logos. So there's definitely a difference in the way that companies approach their revenue retention and new logo acquisition. So it's always interesting to hear how that balance is worked and affected within each company and the way they approach that. But that we know how important that revenue retention is. So interesting to see how you guys did make some changes and put an emphasis for your team on that, along with the new logo acquisition. So when you think about the tools or how you equip your team out in the field, how does technology, like Map My Customers, you've talked about your use of Map My Customers in the last 10 minutes or so, how does technology like Map My Customers help your reps manage both types of opportunities efficiently?
Well, the first thing is that my customer is mobile too. So that's great. They're able to do everything from the mobile device. It gives us an all-in-one view. So not just new leads or existing dealers, it puts everything in one view for us and performance trends so we can prioritize effectively and be able to stay organized. This is even great because it talks to our CRM Zoho, a back and forth communication. So if one of our sales reps is somewhere and leaves a detailed note, I can see it within 1 hour. I'm able to see their note. So that's great. The
Yeah.
longest is 1 hour. Sometimes I can see it within minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's very helpful. Just that visibility and transparency. And you've talked a lot about that and how the transparency and visibility has helped align the team with the corporate goals and helped the leadership stay apprised of how performance is going. So talk a little bit about how your leadership team uses the dashboards in MMC to stay aligned on sales performance.
Using the dashboards is a huge tool for us because it gives us the instant visibility into field activity, dealer engagement, and also our sales metrics. Everything is uploaded into there in real time. So our leadership can just look at those dashboards and make sure that we're aligned and we can adjust our strategies through those dashboards.
What metrics or dashboards do you find are most effective for helping your leaders make decisions and stay informed on the progress of the team?
The contract count for us, the verified check-ins, And then being able to see the sales, the different types of calls everyone's making. Is it just sales or is it service? Things like that. That's huge for us. And we also monitor the new growth through those dashboards. And most of our dashboards that I use are custom. I've had a little help through my customers make those dashboards for me,
Yeah,
which is
that's
great.
Yeah, you guys have done some really creative things with the custom reporting feature and having the ability to tie that in for leadership's view, along with what is available for the reps in the field and that stack rank and them having that right at their fingertips as well. So you guys have done a lot of really great work with that. How do you share visibility into the field activity or pipeline health across departments? So thinking, maybe sales, operations, finance, maybe marketing, what other departments might be tapping into that?
Well, with our shared dashboards and reports allows us the cross-department collaboration, I'm sorry. For example, operations can now anticipate the type of volume that we're going to be receiving, and then also can forecast revenue with greater accuracy and forecast our budgets for the next following year.
That's great. Yeah, there's a lot of fingers on everything as it relates to volume, sales, projections, all of that. So creating the reporting that you guys have to share that visibility helps everybody stay in line, I'm sure, and understand.
Especially at this time of year with forecasting budgets for the next year, it's been great to see.
Yes, yes. I think everybody that I've been talking to over the last couple of weeks has said, I'm swamped because we're doing planning for 2026. So it is that time of year for sure. With everything that you've talked about, you sounds like you rely a lot on the reporting within Map My Customers. Can you share a specific example of how the MMC reporting helped surface an issue or an opportunity that led to a strategic shift?
I would say that we can identify the dip in activity in one region and then coincide with that with like the contract growth by relocating coverage and coaching based on insight. And then we can try to reverse those trends and we can help with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And I think, being able to see that so laid out so clearly on the map with the visibility of here's where our customers are, here's where activity is, closed deal, other information, and then being able to make those adjustments. You guys have had some really great results with making a pivot and very quickly being able to track and say, wow, this worked or this didn't. But having that information at your fingertips, so to speak, really has helped you guys based on what you've shared with us. So that's fantastic. How does having shared data change the conversation between leadership and field sales teams?
This is huge. It actually has moved the discussion from an opinion to a fact. Everyone's working in the same set of data, which leads to more productive strategic conversations. And it being in real time is definitely a huge bonus, because when a field rep goes in to put any type of call log or something in there, it's real time for them. So they remember it when they're able to do it while they're there. So you get more concrete information.
Yeah, that is a conversation changer, because so many times conversation can feel like it's coming from emotion or perception, and when you have the facts and the data, then it really takes it back to here's the reality based on the data that we have, and then you can work together with that. You're coming from the same place instead of coming from two different places. So I love that you said that that's been a game changer. Data can be really important with driving those conversations. So field reps collect a ton of data. We know that they're out in the field. We've got their notes, everything that they collect. So how do you make sure that that becomes actionable insight for leadership?
We've standardized how reps log their activity in Map My Customer that integrates into Zoho. So we've made sure that we've given them the fields and we've mapped them into Zoho so they can log a call correctly, and they're capturing the data that we need. So everybody has a standardized way of collecting a stop or a call.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference too, because now everybody is kind of singing from the same hymnal, so to speak. You've got the same terminology everybody's using. Everybody knows what data is important, expected, mandatory. So all of that is a really great way to move the needle to make sure that your reporting can be actionable and consistent, and you're not having to go through and weed through it and figure things out. So I love that. Well, what is your process for identifying trends or patterns in the data that impact the revenue strategy?
We review the key dashboards biweekly and look for correlations between visit frequency, dealer engagement, and contract results. Those insights often inform where to focus our resources. So I know I've talked a lot about the dashboards, but they really are a huge lifeline for me.
Yeah, that's great. And it sounds like you guys are tied into those, a pretty frequent review of that data within the dashboard. So it's really helping you guys to stay informed and make decisions pretty quickly, if I'm understanding correctly. How has Map My Customers helped simplify the process of turning activity data into executive level reporting?
This is huge. It's eliminated the need for manual reporting. Data is visualized, automatically saving hours of time and improving accuracy. It's kind of like as quick as I can use ChatGPT sometimes, you know. It takes all that manual stuff out of it. It's really nice.
Yeah, that is so critical. We hear that so much from our teams that we work with, in being able to have the data right available to them so that they can see it in real time. You've mentioned you're using real time data, so certainly a huge improvement, I think, from days of old where you had to wait for reporting or dig it up and find it. So that's fantastic. What kind of insights have been the most surprising or valuable to your leadership team?
I would say seeing how visit consistency directly impacts continual growth was eye-opening, and it reinforced the importance of maintaining regular dealer visits, helping with the relationships. And also, I would say for our in-house sales team to see in real time what our outside sales reps are doing. So if one of them had a conversation in real time, they can see before they go in. So everybody's in the same communication.
Yeah, that is a huge help. We have other customers that have said the same thing, of being able to look at activity that happened on accounts, and kind of that golden minute before you go into the meeting. If there was something, of course, to remind yourself of something that you did or something that you logged on your last meeting with the customer, but also where there might be shared activity from other members of your team that you need to be informed of or apprised of. So I love that that is useful for you guys as well. What advice do you have for organizations that want to better leverage their field data for strategic planning?
I would say start by ensuring your data is clean and consistent, then build reporting that tells a story. What's working, what's not working, why isn't it working, is probably the most I could say.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think clean and consistent data, really important. One thing along with that that we also tell everyone is, don't wait for perfection. The data doesn't have to be perfect, but have a starting point, and then you can work from there. And then getting your data clean as you start to incorporate some tools such as Map My Customers, other things within your tech stack. But you guys have just done an exceptional job of building that reporting that tells the story, helps keep your field team informed, helps keep leadership informed, and tying both of those together. So it's been really interesting to hear all the different things that you guys are doing and the contests that you're running to help keep the team engaged. So that's been super insightful, looking at how you can
Love a good contest.
Yes, exactly. Do you have another contest that's coming up?
We actually just kicked off another contest. It started November 15th and it's running to December 15th. It is a holiday cash one. So it's for our sales reps that every new dealers, they had to have 5 new dealer signups, and then any first-time user that uses us for the first time, they get a dollar amount for that user. And there's no cap and there's no winners. It's everyone's eligible. So there's a lot of money getting sent out for Christmas, I think.
That's great. That's awesome. I love that. You guys are doing great with the contest. I'm sure your team loves them too, gives them some extra incentives, and it's always great to have a goal to strive for. So that's perfect. All right. Well, Jenny, I appreciate you being with us today. I've just got a couple more questions to kind of wrap everything up and put a bow on it, so to speak. So if you could sit back and give one piece of advice to sales leaders that are really trying to align their field teams with revenue strategy, what would that be?
I would say you have to prioritize transparency and communication. When your
Mhm.
field team understands their company's goals and can see the impact their performance will naturally follow.
Yeah, that's great advice. 100% agree. And if as you're looking ahead, what's next for you and your team? Are there any big goals or initiatives that you're really excited about?
For the next year, we're getting some more territories, so I'm excited for that. Which with my customers, so easy for me to move a boundary line and things like that. We're expanding our use of My Customer by launching CRM office hours with the My Customer. So if anyone has any questions and need to ask any continuing training, we'll have those office hours for them.
That's great. That's a really great way to help equip the team with the skills they need to be successful. So I love to hear that. Well, that is awesome. Jenny, thank you so much for being with us today and sharing
Thank you
your,
for having me.
yeah, sharing everything that you guys are doing, and hopefully those that are watching, you were able to lock in on some of the points that Jenny and her team have been able to use to help tie the goals and overall objectives for the revenue strategy of Karsh Protection Plus back into the field team. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any of us, and we'd be happy to answer them. Other than that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up a few minutes early today, and we look forward to being with you guys in December for our next field sales series. So thank you for joining. Jenny, thank you for being here. And
Thank you so much.
yeah, have a great one.
Happy
Thank you.
holidays.
Happy holidays.